You're watching an indie game show production. Hey, and welcome to the game show Block Party Web Digital Edition. That is right. I'm here in my bedroom, which is really Studio 1A in Queens, New York. And welcome to what can possibly be the future of the game show Block Party. I am Phil, the media guy, broadcasting all over the world via the internets from Queens. And not only do we have a Queens person here, we have a Staten Island person here. Mike, say hi.
Let's see. Good evening, good morning, or good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world.
Okay, great. I almost forgot that I have to put my microphone up to the speaker, otherwise we can't hear you. We're only testing this out, folks. This is our first ever web show. You people out there who are watching us via Ustream are watching this like live as it happens. Now, when you see this on QPTV or BCAT, if Art will let us air this, it'll pretty much look the same because we're not going to do much editing here. So we just want to get this out there and let you guys know that we can actually do this. So I got Mike there. I'll probably get his picture blended in with mine at some point as soon as we can figure out how to work this thing. But yeah, I know we have a lot of fans out there from all over the world, all over the country, and we just can't afford to fly them in. You know, it's expensive to fly people in. So we thought, why don't we just do a web show like this via Google Hangouts, and we can have audiences watch us, people be contestants, and if they win things, we can mail them out. I mean, we can afford to mail things out. So this is the future of broadcasting, folks. Definitely. So anyway, what was that?
48 cents. Yeah. So, okay, here's your stamp. I don't even have one on me.
We'll figure out how we're gonna get this stamped. We'll figure something out. But anyway, we're here, and we have something exciting for you folks. Now, I know we're public access people. You know, we do this for fun. We're geeks. I have to admit that. Yeah, we're total geeks.
Totally geeks. I would agree with that.
And there is nothing wrong with that. I am damn proud of being a geek. Well, okay, I cursed on public access, but that's fine. But anyway, we're here to talk about a certain show. We're going to begin a little talk segment now for the next 10 minutes. My clock just went out. I'm keeping track of the time because we are live. If I screw up, it's going to be on TV. But anyway, now there was a show you probably know about 20 years ago, 21 years ago actually. The show called Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And, oh yeah. I remember I used to run home and I had to watch the episode, especially with the Green Ranger and all that, et cetera, et cetera. But I want to back up a little bit. I forgot to mention something. Back in the day, we used to do something called Blog Talk Radio, blogtalkradio.com. I'll try to make this thought process really quick. And we actually did, Mike, if you remember, we did a little Star Trek trivia. And, yeah. Mm-hmm. And a couple of us were Trekkie fans, except certain people. I'm not going to mention any names, but I kind of felt bad that we couldn't integrate everyone because they weren't fans of the show. So what I did was we made it like a Hollywood Square style. So we kind of guessed the answers, even though if we didn't know the answer, and the person.
I remember that.
Exactly. So if they didn't remember, if we didn't know the answer, they would say if they agree or disagree with the answer, and if they got it right, they got a point. I could have done that tonight, but I just wanted to test this out with just one other person and someone who's a fan of something that we're going to do here.
I'm ashamed to say I am a Power Rangers fan. I have been for about 20 years, but I'm not like a big guy who would go dressed up to a convention and go there. That's not me, but I am a fan of the show. Been a fan of the show now. Like, funny story about that. I actually became a fan because I usually get hooked on things that shows that I think are going to fail. And I thought Power Rangers was going to fail miserably when it first came out. I'm pretty sure a lot of people thought the same thing.
Yeah, the actors actually thought that, and it's funny. About what was a couple of months ago, I think this winter, I met David Yost, and I'm gonna actually find a picture of him and I together. And somebody asked him, I'm still trying to learn this minicamp thing, folks. Someone asked him, how did you know that Power Rangers was a huge deal? And he said, well, again, like they thought, of course, that they thought it was going to fail. There we are. But they actually thought... No, that was actually made by Cosplayer. That's what they call it. You can actually buy that helmet. So it's kind of funny that he made him buy that helmet. Even the Green Ranger suit that Jason David Frank has, he bought that. I believe he did. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, so David Yost, he said that he knew that this show was going to be huge. They did a show at Universal Studios in California, and they shut down the entire city. There were traffic jams, lines out the...
I remember hearing this story before, where they pretty much had one of the biggest crowds Universal City has ever had, even to this day.
Yes, and they were kind of forced to do a second show and a third show, and that's when the actors looked at each other and said, you know what, this is a hit. But definitely, I mean, I also want to talk about, like you said, I wouldn't dress up, or would I? I don't know. I kind of thought of it.
Done it for Star Trek.
Maybe. I did dress up in a Starfleet uniform, and it wore it to work once, which was Halloween. So I wouldn't wear a Starfleet uniform to work every day. Okay. Now I want to bring up one more topic before we move on. Well, maybe we'll talk about a little bit of our favorite episodes, memories, before we get into the trivia.
Like I said, I got a few also.
All right. Well, let me just talk about this really quick. Over the years, they talk about bringing movies back to the theaters. For example, I believe back in 2009, they asked Jennifer Lopez to play Carmen Sandiego. Back in 2012, they spoke about a Captain Planet movie. And for years, they're talking about Ghostbusters 3, which I hear is still on. But now, and then Jason Frank says, hey, Lionsgate is going to make an announcement, and they did. They said, in 2015, we're going to do a Power Rangers reboot movie. And now here's something that really gets you. Like all these movies that are rumors are in the talks. These people come out and say, okay, I'm from Lionsgate. Okay, July 22nd, 2016, expect a movie. Now that is quite a gutsy move. I mean, you don't have a script, you don't have a story, you don't have actors. I mean, Mike, what is your first reaction they're going to reboot the entire franchise? What do you think?
I was actually stunned when I heard that. I couldn't believe that Power Rangers doesn't have the popularity it did even 15 years ago. Right now it's on, if anybody who watches it knows, it's on a 20-episode cycle on Nickelodeon, and well, I'll get to that in a little bit, but I was just floored because they're not only doing a Power Rangers movie, but they're going back to the original cast. It's not the original cast, but the original characters.
That's right.
And floored. I couldn't believe it. I mean, what is it? What are they going to do? I mean, are they going to rewrite the story? Are they going to rewrite Zordon? I don't know what they're going to do here. Oh, sure, they're and Amy Jo Johnson.
Yeah, I just had to thread it in there. I've actually met 3 of the Rangers: Frank, Amy Johnson, and David Yost. I just had to thread it in there. But yeah, I was also in shock as well. I mean, and from what I read, they're actually going to pretty much reboot the original story. 5 teens who have the power of the dinosaurs, and they're high school students who may pretty much save the world. You know, the whole shebang. And that's all we know. I mean, I've been seeing a lot of fans talk on the internet about that, their speculations, and a lot of what fans are hoping to see. And yeah, that stuff too. And Mike, also my last thought before we go into the show, our memories. Have you ever seen any of what the fans have done, like some of the fan films out there?
A little bit. I'm waiting for that MMPR thing to come out.
Oh hell yeah!
It came out?
No, not yet. They've gone missing. I mean, they haven't really done much updates since that last trailer, but they're still working on it. That's all I know.
Yeah, hopefully they'll come out with something soon. That looked really good. I've seen some of the stuff. I mean, what can you do? What can you really do? I mean, with Power Rangers actually still on TV, that makes things a little bit more difficult to fan film.
Yeah, and also especially due to the fact that Lionsgate announced this movie, and that's what actually some of the filmmakers are saying, that now that we have this movie coming out, are we still doing these fan film things? And they said, why not? And the funny thing is, Power Rangers, they are hugely popular. If you go to Comic-Con, I'm going to Comic-Con this year again. Why, I don't know, but the line for Jason Frank. Now here's the deal. In 2012. He was only going to be there for an hour signing autographs. He ended up staying there for 3 hours. The line was out the door. He was hi.
From you, I mean, you told me this. He was one of those people that likes to get to really interact with his fans and stay till every fan gets an autograph, no matter how long it takes.
Yeah, that's a great guy. A lot of celebrities are not like that. They're saying, okay, you, and that's it. I'm done. Screw you all.
Well, some of them are like that, and some of them I mean, he appreciates it, and he's said it before. I mean, you've seen my Morph in Life, his Jason Frank's show right now. He even said it on the show that he appreciates the fans, because without the fans, he wouldn't be where he is today.
Oh, that's.
I thought he didn't like Power Rangers originally, but apparently I was misled completely.
Absolutely. Who would have thought? I mean, also, I know you guys are thinking, all right, this is a kid show. Yes, it is. We got a little kid in all of us. I mean, some of us still watch cartoony shows. Yeah, right. But this movie reboot is actually going to be for young adults and the rest of us. The thing is, when I had a little conference, it was a small group of us, and Jason Frank was talking there. I believe that was the picture. I didn't show you guys that picture yet. I'm going to pull it up there. But people are asking, have you ever thought about doing a Power Rangers that's more for an adult audience? Because most of the fans have grown up. And he says, he would absolutely love to do that, especially that the fans are grown up. And now, I mean, there's a new generation of fans, but still, you can't forget the old fans, and I think that's going to be great. And there's the man of the hour right now. Green, white, what are the colors? He was black, red.
Green, he was white. He's not a Gokaiger, so who knows?
Right. All right.
The current series, which he's supposed to towards the next few weeks.
Well, actually, by the time this airs, hopefully it will be airing or already aired. So this should be airing in mid-November.
That'll be the series finale of Megaforce. So I don't know what they're planning for that.
It's unfortunate. It's going to be only a one-parter, or at least that's what the guide says. It's only going to be a one-parter. That was the thing about the Mighty Morphin series. There was a handful of two-parters, mini-series. It was so exciting back then.
Series. Don't forget the mini-series.
I swear.
Probably one of the best kids story arcs ever made with the Green Move Envy story arc, where they first introduced the Green Ranger.
Now we're going to move into our memories, because I think that's the perfect time to get into memories. I remember running home from school and they introduced this new character. He was going to be turned evil, and now the Power Rangers have to face their own, and that was so incredibly exciting. Wow, and then they found out who the Green Ranger is, and I'll never forget Amy Jo Johnson. Well, Kimberly, she looks at the viewing globe. They see through his morph suit, and he's like, "Oh no, Tommy!" Wow, that was awesome.
Yeah, because they never ever saw it coming. I mean, who would have expected that Rita would pull a teenager just to be a ranger? Well, apparently that was actually the perfect plan. If he never got discovered, it could have gone it's a good guy's story, but it could have gone the other way.
I know. You had no idea what was going to happen, but but also, I mean, all the great episodes. I mean, all the great episodes went around the Green Ranger. I kind of felt bad for the Red Ranger. He used to be the most popular hero in the kids' show until Jason appeared. But we still love you, Austin. You're an awesome Red Ranger. I can't wait to meet you one day, hopefully. But the other episode I'm thinking of, speaking of Green Ranger, is the episode. Well, he was losing his powers, and now the episode Parents' Day, I believe, and the Power Rangers lose their powers. Goldart, gets a hold of their coins, and at the end of the episode, they said we don't have any powers left. What are we going to do? Not all of them. You zoom in on Jason's hand, and he's holding the coin, and then what happens after that. Oh my goodness.
He needs his powers temporarily, but that's just a temporary fix. Before he became white, he was green somewhere into I think it was towards the beginning of season 2 when they finally stripped him of the Green Ranger powers.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's right. And also, the final episode of that, he actually faced Goldar without his powers. That was also very exciting. Like, wow. And then this white. Actually, I remember seeing that episode for the first time when he turned into the White Ranger. No one really knew it was going to be him. I don't know. Did you?
It was pretty much a given, I would think, since he's the one who was...
Yeah.
I mean, he was so popular, they brought him back after they ran out of footage for him the first time. You got to remember, people may not realize that Power Rangers is based on a Japanese series called Sentai. And in Sentai, the Green Ranger basically died. And
that's right.
With only about 20 episodes of the whole series, so they don't have a lot of footage. Basically, when Tommy lost his powers the first time was around the same time where was when they ran out of Green Ranger footage. They had to go back and film more footage. It's like, I think it was called Sentai 2 footage, if I remember correctly, and they had to film more scenes with the green suit. And they had to film more scenes with actually all the Rangers because they actually ran out of footage early on in the series. They did the Green Ranger saga. They still had footage at that point, but then they had to film more footage. And as if people don't know Sentai, I don't know how well do you know Sentai, Phil?
I have seen several episodes. I'm actually still watching through it, but yeah, I did see that episode where he dies.
No. What Sentai is basically Power Rangers in Japan, but every year they change their story. And for instance, let me go to the current year now. The pirate story, the pirate episodes that you see on TV today are actually from Kaizu Sentai Go Kaiger, which is from 2 years ago. And their gimmick was those Ranger keys, which can turn into any Ranger from the pirates, all the way back to what's known as Go Ranger, which is the original Sentai, and they could change into there's a.
Yeah, I'm just flashing pictures as you explain. Yeah.
Lance and helmet. Now, I wonder if he has anyway. Besides the point, when the original Power Rangers was based on a series called what was it?
Jew Ranger.
Jew Ranger, yeah. Which is a series of five ancient beings from the dinosaur times who were chosen to defend the Earth. And this guy, Green Ranger, is actually the Red Ranger's brother in the series. They fight each other, and that's where you got the Green Evil footage. And then they become allies. But the catch is that in the Japanese series, Barai is the character's name, and the Barai basically it has a time limit on his life. And eventually it runs out after the Rita Repulsa character. I don't know her name, so don't ask me.
Yeah, I know her name. Yeah.
Voice his inner sanctum where he lives, and that's and then he has to die because he can't go back to where he recharges.
That's right. Yeah, I am a little bit familiar, and yeah, also that's why Power Rangers wasn't meant to last much longer because obviously the Japanese footage was running out, and also other Japanese
more Japanese footage of at least of the current version. I know for a fact they have more Japanese footage than what they're showing.
That's right. Yeah.
Episodes of these pirates, and yet they have 40. I guess they had 50 episodes in the Japanese version, including a Christmas episode, which is probably one of the better episodes of the whole series. And if you ever see Go Kaiger, with the subtitles, you got to see it because that's probably the best Sentai I've ever seen. It's more of a darker tone. It's with pirates. And,
yeah, that show's very dark.
Oh, okay. Did I lose you?
No, I'm still here. I'm just showing pictures.
and let's see, and there's David Yost again, because it's kind of like when this year they're doing a pirate theme, next year they're doing a dinosaur theme again, which comes from another series, and that's what they do. That's Power Rangers for you. They have to do after Sentai's done. But the Pirate series from Japan is really good, and that's where I feel like I'm going to say this because Power Rangers this year is nowhere near as good as the Japanese counterpart.
That's pretty much true for almost every show that they show here, that they Americanize. I mean, the Japanese version is usually so much better. But not for the first 2-3 seasons of Power Rangers. That was great, but Japanese, it's just so much better.
The second season of Power Rangers, the Zords were from a different series.
That's right, yes.
It's called, I was looking at this recently because I found out what it was, Die Ranger, and the White Ranger is from Die Ranger, and they used they did a lot of American filming after the White Ranger showed up. They did more American filming than they used the Japanese footage combined with the Zord scenes.
That's right.
You should know when they had to do a lot of editing on the Zords, you could actually see the Rangers standing on top of the Zords.
Yeah, they showed the White Ranger on top of the Tiger Zord. Yeah, I remember that.
Stand on top of the Zords.
Oh, okay.
The problem was that since they didn't change the costumes, they couldn't show that.
A lot of tricky editing those guys did. Saban and all those guys.
Pretty good job, decent job of editing around the first few seasons, but then after that, everything's changed because eventually, I don't think Toei wanted to film dinosaur footage anymore.
Kind of interesting how those Japanese shows and they Americanize them, especially with Superhuman Samurai. Like they recycle those scenes to death, but that's for another topic.
For that, I've never seen that footage. I know that's something like I don't know the name of that, but
Gridman.
That.
All right. All right. So we have less than 5 minutes. But before we go, just last thoughts. When I was talking about fan films, go see. It's called. His name is Zordon Film, I believe. He did a short film called Teenagers with Attitude, and he basically pretty much rebooted the Day of the Dumpster episode. I highly recommend you go check it out. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Definitely. So, I mean, I spoke to him very briefly, just to tell him what an awesome job that he did. And he's going to be doing more. He's going to be doing like a reboot of the 5-part Green Ranger episode. We'll see. And then he's also doing like a prequel to like what Zordon was like on Eltar and how he discovered all the powers, how he pissed off Rita and all those people. But definitely check it out when you have a couple of minutes. It's a feature-length, 30-minute. Zordon is not out yet, but he's working on it.
I'm going to take a look at that.
Any last thoughts?
No. I don't think so.
All right. So we only have less than 4 minutes to go. Without further ado, we're going to begin a little bit of a Power Ranger trivia. We're not going to keep score. We're not going to really do this because this is a game show. It's not really a talk show. I had to put a little game element into it. It is the game show Block Party. And we'll be right back with the game. So watch. Mike, watch. All right. All right, and welcome to Ranger Trivia. I am Phil the Media Guy, and you all know Mike Davis from Staten Island. We're broadcasting all over the world right now. All right, so a little bit of trivia while we have about 3 minutes left. Before we start, I'm going to give a bonus question. Now, we all know the 5 teenagers who played the original Power Rangers, but one of them Only was in the pilot episode. Mike, who was that, and who was she?
I don't know the name of the actress, but I know it was Trini, the girl who originally played Trini. She was fired because, if I remember correctly, she did not fit the part.
You are right about that. Mm-hmm. That's right. Trini, yeah, she was played by Audrey Dubois.
Let's see. Do I have to limit it to the original series, or?
We would prefer it would be the original series because it's the 20th anniversary, and we're going back to the original show, like season 1, 2, and 3, Mighty Morphin, before Alien Rangers.
They in the original series, towards the middle of the series, everybody knows the original 6 Zords. They introduced the 7th Zord. What was the 7th Zord, and who was it attacking when it was first introduced?
Oh, Titanus?
Correct, that's right. It was Titanus, but who?
The Ultra Zord. Who was it attacking? Don't remember. Ooh, we got 2 minutes left. We got to hurry.
Okay, really quick. Titanus was introduced in an episode where Tommy and Jason were going after a super weapon to defeat super putties.
Oh,
Titanus was originally attacking Tommy and Jason on purpose to get them to work together.
Okay, so I guess we stumped each other on that one. The one before that, so we're pretty much even. So let me see here. Here's a good one. Episode 2, right after Day of the Dumpster. What is Trini afraid of?
Heights.
You got it. Ding, ding, ding. All right, you got one?
They were said to that Billy almost disappeared on.
The one that Billy almost just disappeared on?
Yes.
Didn't it feature all of them disappearing? I think it was like the Island of Illusion.
Yes, that's it.
Ooh, hey! Oh yeah!
Okay, your turn.
Middle circle for the win. No. What were the morphers called in the pilot episode of Mighty Morphin?
Solar. I really don't know.
Okay, they were called. Actually, they were called in the show that term too. Transmorphers. Again, we're out of time, so we got to wrap it up. Again, I apologize that the graphics that you see here aren't so great, but we're learning this thing, and hopefully, I'll figure out how to get my window out of Google Plus. I know what you're thinking, Skype, but you got to pay to use Google. You got to pay to use group chat in Skype. Google gave us everything we need, so big thanks to them. Big thanks to Minicam, which is down here. I hope to be being a paid user for Minicam. I'm really impressed with their work, and hopefully we'll have many more shows coming your way on the web and in the studio. And that is pretty much it. Mike, any closing thoughts?
Relax. Watch a game show.
Relax. Watch your game show. Good night, everyone.